announced $5 million partnership between Curzio Research and TCG World. So we announced a strategic partnership with TCG World, who's building a large open world 4K metaverse, and it's almost done. We've seen it already. You can see it. Go to TCG World. You can go to YouTube videos. They provide updates every single month on what they're doing. By far the nicest, most beautiful metaverse that you'll see. Someplace you want to spend time with. It's not like the Decentraland, or I've been to Decentraland. I've been to Sandbox. I was in there for about 20 minutes to 30 minutes, and I haven't gone back. It just didn't interest me as much. This is a lot different. I've been studying this trend for a while, and I haven't seen anything like TCG, and that's why we made this investment. So we're spending $5 million to purchase 9 commercial real estate properties in the Metaverse. It's a stock and cash deal. We're in the process of building our headquarters there, which will be available before TCG goes live in September, and they're helping us build it with their developers. But the company, it's coming out September, and it's the largest metaverse, open metaverse. Sold more than 50% of its plots already. And you're going to see more and more announcements. More and more announcements come out. They get closer to that date. And more people recognize this, because I can tell you a lot of people where the billions are flowing into the metaverse. And by the way, guys, I don't know if you saw Davos and the economic forums taking place a lot. It seems like every conversation they put on CBC is about the metaverse. The metaverse. And they were talking about, will meetings be replaced? Will they be in the metaverse from now on? And a lot of them are like, yeah, there's something about 3D meetings that much better than 2D meetings. And who knows if people will have to attend Davos anymore. Yes, I'm a person that likes in-person meetings, but person to person, especially now that COVID's died down, but you're going to see this develop. All the companies, they're talking about it in Davos right now. And also, who made a major announcement was Andreessen Horowitz. So Andreessen Horowitz just raised $4.5 billion for another crypto fund. Puts it $7.5 billion altogether. I think it's their fourth. Mostly for Web3 investments, which is what? Which is DeFi, which is security tokens, NFTs. Right, and I have this written down on a piece of paper because I was just watching it right before I came on, and DAO, right? So what brings all those together is the metaverse, an open world metaverse. That brings it all together. That's why you're seeing in a market like this, that's the one area that's getting funded. It's the one area why we push this deal so much, why we're so excited about it. I'll go more in a minute. But they were talking about the state of crypto, and, they had one of their analysts on there, and she was talking about how she's been in this since 2013. She's used to the volatility, but we don't care about people in the short term. Long term, this is it. This is where the innovation is. This is where the market's going. And they know it. Andreessen Horowitz is the biggest venture capital fund. They make the most money. They're amazing. $4.5 billion they raised. So I think $1.5 billion, that's going to go to seed investments, and the rest is going to be, that's very, very early stage. And the rest is to, a lot of this stuff's going to be early stage anyway. But a little bit more developed. Like TCG's developed, right? They're coming out September. They're not like, hey, give me all this money and we're building a metaverse. No, they're not even taking money from really outside investors, or everyone's purchasing land. That's what they're doing to build this thing. So they're not taking on any partners or anything. And the structure that they have, I love. There's a reason why they're not taking on those partners, and I'll explain it to you later. But for us, we plan on using some of this commercial real estate again for our headquarters, where Curzio VIP members can meet with other investors. They're going to be able to attend live events, educational seminars, conferences, listen to exclusive Wall Street Unplugged podcasts. Build a huge investment community, right? Share ideas. I have lots and lots of ideas for this, like special private placement deals, and just that could be shared there, and anyone that anyone could bring to it. Just like I have access to so much of this information through this podcast and doing it for 14 years, or close to 15 years now. Being able to have a lot of these people come in and share their ideas, and if the ideas are terrible, they get kicked out of the room. They can't come back. But let's, just so many different ideas. But the point is, you're eliminating Wall Street and you're creating this massive network. We have all these ideas, and it's not a coincidence that Wall Street Bets is in this, and our headquarters is going to be close to that. But if you're not familiar with TCG World, go to YouTube, watch a few videos. For us, I'm very proud of this deal. We worked very, very hard to get it done over the past few months. We locked in prices at great rates. Again, with Sandbox, Decentraland, if you're watching these YouTube videos, you're going to see the big difference between these, right? And not only are we going to develop with our land headquarters, but it gives us an option where we bought enough real estate where we could lease it out in other areas. And it's 4 different quadrants. And that puts a nice asset on our balance sheet. It results in potential for recurring revenue. But the fact we bought this land for $5 million, if you look at Decentraland, and from what I see, again, it could be a different opinion or whatever. When I see Decentraland and Sandbox, TCG just blows them away. But the $5 million land, if it was in Decentraland, it'd be worth more than $90 million. So for me, my bet is that when people start noticing how amazing this is and how they got it right and how it's incentivizing development from just innovators, right? From those developers, from those users, where they're taking very small fees compared to everybody else. That's the biggest difference. Permissionless, decentralized world. And that's not what Facebook is coming out with. That's not what Roblox is. That's not what Fortnite is, not what Decentraland is. And it's not what Sandbox is. That's a one-way street. That doesn't build this up. That's not what the Metaverse is. They're charging 40%. They're going to take 40%, right? Facebook's bitching about the App Store and Apple and how much they take, and everybody bitches about that. They're going to be taking more than what Apple takes for the Apple Store for anyone that comes in and develops stuff there, which means it's a one-way street. They're trying to make money. That's not the Metaverse. Metaverse is an economy, decentralization, permissionless. You could have your own jobs in it. You could build your own stuff, and they're only going to be taking 5%, which it promotes innovation in this world, and they got that right. Because they don't care what happens over the next few months. They're not like taking a check for $5 million, $10 million and saying, okay, now we have Anderson Horowitz as investors. No. If you have Anderson Horowitz as investors, they got the deal of a lifetime. They're getting your token for almost nothing, and they got people on the board. They're looking at the venture, right? They're looking to get in early and get out as quick as possible with the most money. That's fine. That's great. But it's not the best thing in the world to get these partners. I know when I raised money for my security token, I had funds come in and want to give me millions and millions of dollars, and we raised $4 million. And they want to give me millions and millions and millions and more. They said, hey, we want a special deal on your token. Could we get it at 50 cents, $1? I said, excuse my language, go fuck yourself. We're not in a position of weakness. We're a growing company. And I'm not giving you shares so you can blow them out as soon as we're able to trade on something like T0. Because right now, that's what you're seeing across the board. All this leverage, right? That's a fund that's probably invested. Those funds are invested in so many different things. Is selling out. They're going to sell out of our token to pay off a lot of things. They're on margin, but what does that result in our token price being at $1 instead of being close to 7, where it's been near 7 since February, since we came on the T0 platform, which is pretty amazing. Trading flat to a little bit down in a market where everything's down 30% plus from its highs. That's the difference. But just seeing them talk about it in Davos is pretty amazing. But, the deal itself and the real estate in the metaverse, it's just that is worth it alone, right? Just having that. But TCG's also, this is a stock and cash deal, so they're going to be an investor in our company. That's what they wanted. That's what we wanted. We wanted to be partners with them. So they stand to benefit tremendously from our growth, which means they're incentivized to make us a focal point of their new world, to introduce us to every crypto company they know, make sure every crypto investor in the metaverse knows our name because they're investors in our company. So our headquarters are going to be right near Wall Street Bets. They have 11 million followers. They're in Whitebit. That's a large international crypto exchange with over 1 million traders, also on TCG. That's 12 million investors we could potentially have access to. Now, if we're able to get just 0.5% of these people to subscribe to one of our products, 0.5% of those, that's it. I'm not talking about any crazy numbers here. We're going to increase our subscriber base by 6-fold. I mean, it will cost us more than $10 million easily to build a file that size through traditional media channels, just to advertising networks. Through this year, we're going to have access to these people for free. That's just 2 companies right now in TCG Metaverse. Once they launch and more come on board, this number could reach to hundreds of millions. So that's why, for us, it's a game changer. But we're doing a private placement. We're raising $4 million to fund a portion of this deal. Already seeing lots of demand, even in this market, because it's a well-structured deal. It is a Metaverse deal, and you're seeing Metaverse deals get funded. And this is the largest right now on record that, we've been told, but we've done some research on it. And there's 3 or 4 companies that were smaller deals than ours that said they were the largest. So, we're the largest unless there was some deal under the table. But honestly, I expect us to be the largest for maybe a couple of weeks. Because that's how much money is pouring into it. You saw Anderson Horowitz was $4.5 million. You're going to see a lot of that go to Metaverse. Web3, it's Metaverse, right? That's a Metaverse that brings all these trends together. So we're seeing lots of demand because it's a well-structured deal, little dilution, accreted the earnings pretty quickly. I said it was going to be no dilution, little dilution, because we wanted to buy more real estate at the price that we're getting it. So we're going to issue a few tokens. We have more than half of those on our balance sheet already, which is included in our market cap. But if you're an accredited investor and interested in learning how you can buy into this offering, which includes a 30% discount to a Curzio Research, our token, CURZ. Again, that token is an equity stake. It's like a stock. You get a direct equity stake in our company. It's a 30% discount where it's trading today. You can just go to www.curzioequityoffer.com Okay, all the paperwork, the sub-agreement, all the details of the deal can be found there. I have people that read that and said, Frank, I have a few more questions, which are actually good questions. And I've spoken to a lot of investors and, they've come in already. So if that's the case and you read it and you still have questions and you're thinking about it, call me. Just make sure, it's serious about it. I have I have no problem speaking to you, but, I've spoke to one person when we raised money the last time, and it was kind of like he was like, yeah, I'm thinking of coming in, but, I have a good deal, and, I want to hang up on the guy. I'm like, not right now. Send me an email for something like that. This is more important. I want to talk to investors. I want to talk to people who are serious about this. It is a $25,000 minimum, so all investors are getting the same deal, which also includes, for all new investors, we're giving away a free plot of land at TCG and a free minted NFT, which is going to be a Curzio Research sports car. Only limited to the investors coming into the deal, where you could, use it to go through it's a massive metaverse where you could do so many different things at TCG World. And the reason why I'm giving those away is because I want you to learn about the metaverse, right? And this is the best way to learn about it. You could do anything you want. You could sell both of those things. I mean, it's going to be, the limited edition car. It's only going to be limited to those investors, whether it's 100, 150, whatever. It's not going to be any more made, so it's going to be minted. It's going to be airdropped to you at a future date, probably after, right at September, October, right around there, we'll be able to airdrop it. Again, they're going to be really busy once they open, but that's, the deal that they struck with us, which is really, really cool. And they said, hey, we want to do this a little bit extra because it's a partnership. And for me, when I view partnerships, I look at McDonald's and Coca-Cola. In our industry, a lot of partnerships aren't structured like that. It's usually one person gets what, and it begins with an F. And that's not the way I've ever done business. That's not the way you build a network. So for us, we're looking to partner. A lot of these crypto companies, a lot of people within the Metaverse, we're looking to partner with them long term and help build this thing. And the bigger this thing gets, then we're real estate owners. We're large real estate owners in this Metaverse. As of now, that could change in just a couple weeks. So just really exciting stuff. But I want to give this away free, and you could sell it. You could do whatever you want with it. But at least you'll understand NFTs, how to put them in your wallet. How do you get them? How do I build, land on this plot? And again, it's going to be a small plot located near our headquarters, but, this way you get familiar with this trend. The best way to get familiar with it, let me give it to you for free, and that comes in with the deal. So I'm the largest shareholder. I'm investing another $200,000 in it, so getting the same deal as everyone else. And TCG, since the cash stock and a token deal, they're going to be receiving those tokens the same price, same deal as every new investor coming to the deal. Same, all of us, we're all getting the same deal across the board. So no one's coming in and getting tokens at $2 and hey, we raised $25 million because we decided to give tokens away at 15 cents. You see a lot of bullshit companies do that. We're not doing that. Again, I didn't create security tokens. One of the original security tokens. I didn't do this deal to make money tomorrow. Okay, this is something I truly believe in. We're revolving a whole entire company around it. It's a way to access names, which is the core part of our business, where people want to be educated. Not only that, they want to be educated on NFTs. They want to be educated on cryptos, on the right cryptos, because you see what happened with Luna and Terra, how bullshit this industry could be sometimes. And I'm glad it's getting washed out. You need the washout because this is where all the innovation is coming from. But more importantly, getting to these investors, they're going to be investing at a market that, we're at lows not seen since the credit crisis in terms of valuation. And even COVID, we're below those lows on the Russell 2000. And somebody asked a question later. I'll cover that in a second. But being able to educate them on how to buy some of these things at this stage, that's why it's amazing, because usually you see when the market sells off, everyone runs for the exits. For us to see a huge demand for this deal, which is great, and also Anderson Horowitz to raise $4.5 billion in this type of market for Web3, which, again, a lot of that is going to go into Metaverse, DeFi, it's Web3, right? So you're seeing how revolutionary that a lot of people think this trend's going to be. And I thought it would take longer to get here. It's not. This deal is $4.5 billion. It's just a small part of what has been raised over the past 6 months during this market fall. There's a ton of money. That's one of the only areas I know of that's seeing a flood of money, and including some energy deals. That's it. Everything else, I've been asked about deals. Frank, you want to invest in this? So there's no demand. There's no demand for biotech. There's no demand for technology deals. There's no demand for any of that stuff right now. So a lot of that money, there is money on the sideline that wants to invest in a lot of this stuff. And when do you do it? You do it now when valuations are low. You can get in early. You got your pick of the litter. It's not like you're trying to catch the new deal that came out in 5G or AI when these trends are just continue to take off, or cloud, right? And we've seen a lot of those things get nailed now. But you don't have to chase deals where, the people creating these companies are in the driver's seat. You're in the driver's seat if you have cash right now. If you listen to this podcast, you should have cash on the sidelines. Yes, we stopped that as some newsletter, some of the stocks in our newsletter, but you should have cash. If you do, lots and lots of investments are coming up, and one of them is actually, ours, the private placement. So we officially announced it. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it. Just before you think about coming in, I want you to do me a favor. Make sure you do your due diligence. Go over everything. Can you have any questions? Let me know. But go to the Decentraland, go to Sandbox, and then go to TCG World. Look at the YouTube videos of what they're coming out with, and you'll see why I'm so excited. That's all I'm going to say. Before you even come into the deal, do that. Do your due diligence. Don't say, well, Frank, I trust you, and you've been around forever, and this and that. It doesn't matter if it's not it is a matter of trusting, but it doesn't mean that if you even trust a person that you're going to make money off of a deal, right? You want to make sure you're doing the right thing. For me, this was a no-brainer when we saw TCG World. We got lucky to be introduced through one of my contacts at a conference we went to. This has been in the making for several months going, it was pretty easy negotiations going back and forth because we both had similar interests. We both wanted to be partners with each other. It wasn't like, I'm buying this and that's it. No, we want to be partners. We're partners. They invest in our company. We own real estate in their metaverse. And for me, doing the research on this, I think this is going to be the premier metaverse because it's an open world that promotes innovation. It's permissionless. It's decentralized. It's allowing people to create their own stuff and own their own content. Where, yes, you could own your own content in those other metaverses, but you're still giving away a ton of money. I mean, Facebook's 48.5%. That's what they're looking to take. 48.5%. And you know what they said? Well, their executives, that's on par with pretty much everyone else in the industry. TCG's taking 5%. That's awesome. That's looking long term. That's trying to get everyone in the world. That's Robinhood. That's Robinhood changing the industry. Yes, Robinhood's down and they came out at a crazy, stupid valuation in a bull market. But what Robinhood did is change the landscape of trading forever. Every major firm decide, okay, we can't, trading is for free now. Yes, they'll make it a difference in the price differential and stuff like that. We know. But that's how it became a multi-billion-dollar company and huge company. Yes, it's down tremendously because, again, there's a little shadiness going around there. But you could see how you can get the greatest talent and how you can build a company if you do the right thing. And this is going to promote innovation. And that's the biggest part of the metaverse. You want people to come there and innovate because there's people that are smarter than you. No matter how smart you think you are when you're running a company, there's people that are smarter than you out there. How do you get them to your site? Well, we have the best metaverse. We have 4K graphics. One of the only ones with 4K graphics. It's an amazing experience going through. You're going to be able to, it's gamification. You can play games. You could, stock seminars and you can see big concerts there. I mean, the Fortnite concert, if you look, with Travis Scott, which, if you're older, you probably don't know him, but he's one of the hottest artists. It's close to 200 million views through the metaverse. 200 million on YouTube. That's how many people viewed it. 200 million. Hey, what's the largest venue for a concert? What do you think? Whatever. A little over 100 if you go in some place in Spain or wherever in Europe, and a couple of places here. But what do you think? Every artist is not looking at that going, holy shit. I mean, that's how many people attended this? 200 million? Are you kidding me? That's the metaverse. It's here. It's now. And we're really excited to do this deal. So thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it. You can just Google and you'll see our press release if you want to learn more. But again, if you're interested in coming to this deal, www.curzioequityoffer.com. And any questions you have, feel free to call me anytime.